Now we're going to talk about connecting to your spiritual team. So the first thing to understand in connecting to your spiritual team is that you are a channel. Every single being is a channel, and when you understand that truth and believe that truth, you can open the gateway to higher consciousness, to your highest self, to your entire spiritual team. And so it's important for you to understand, as discussed a little bit earlier, that society has turned that off. As humans, we've been conditioned to stop listening to our highest self, to stop listening to our intuitive yes, so that we become these little drones going along with whatever society wants us to do. And while I do agree that we need functioning society, I also think that we can elevate ourselves within that society and actually elevate all of society and humanity and the world and the universe by opening our channel and living in alignment with our spiritual teams and with the universe. So number one thing to understand is that you are a channel, and for me, my channeling, I feel it come through my crown and my third eye, but play a little bit, see what is going to help you activate and connect with your channel so that you can really trust it in the highest. So here are a few ways to explore your connection with your spiritual team. And we're going to talk about channeling a little bit later when we talk about the clairs and how to physically channel. But the first thing that you're going to want to do is to turn inward. So you really want to make sure that you're finding time to really be with yourself, be with your human form, be with your brain, so that you can learn how to say, okay, I love you, thank you for keeping me alive, but I'm going to turn you off for a moment, as well as being with your highest self. So you also want to make sure that you're able to distance yourself away from electronics, from TV, social media, computer, the internet, as well as from other people who might hinder your confidence in trusting your channel and trusting your channeling abilities. So once you've separated yourself from that, then find some solace, find some time to yourself, and do it in a way that you're not going to get distracted. So if possible, putting your phone in another room, or if you'd like to have music with you and that is how you're going to play the music, turning it on airplane mode so there's no contact to anybody else. Once you're in a peaceful state, then you're going to want to go deeper. So maybe you go into meditation, maybe you pull cards, maybe you dance, sing, play music, and you raise that vibration, tapping into one of those ways that we talked about in raising your vibration, so that you can really become one with yourself, with your soul, and with your highest self. And once you can create that connection with your human form and your highest self, that is when your channeling abilities are just going to pop open, because you're in that perfect aligned state for them to flow through. So your highest self is going to be the closest to you, and once you can create that connection with human form and highest self, that is when you're going to be able to, in alignment with her or him or it, open that channel all the way to the rest of your spiritual team. So number one, trust that you are a channel. Number two, turn inward. And then number three, actually channeling that entire spiritual team. So there are so many ways to channel, and I wish that I could, give you step-by-step guidance on how to do that. But it's important to understand that our spiritual teams are all made up of different entities. So what exists in my spiritual team, you might have additional beings in yours or different beings in yours. And so they're going to communicate with you in the way that is going to, one, be the easiest, and two, be the most beneficial and most high contact way of doing that for you. So I encourage you to explore how to channel in the way that works the best for you, because how I channel with my spiritual team might not be how you channel with your spiritual team. But the number one thing to keep in mind while channeling, or rather not in mind, because the number one thing is to keep the mind off, to keep the ego off. So you really want to keep your soul, your highest self, in the foreground and keep ego in a back seat, because this is going to allow you to do what you need to do to open the channel. For example, for me, sometimes I find myself needing to sing or hum or move or shake or dance. And if I let my ego take the front, take the foreground, I definitely would not allow myself to be like, all right, cool, it's time to hum now, without even a song in mind. But when I set the ego to the back, that humming starts to come out. And honestly, I've hummed songs that, one, I could never repeat. So I usually record myself when I know that I'm about to channel, so that I can go back and listen, and then sometimes meditate on the messages or the songs that came through. But it really is, there is no rhyme or reason. You just let it flow. And I don't know why those things flow through me, but when I let the ego take a back seat and let them flow through, I get my answers. And if they're not a physical answer that my brain can understand, I can feel a shift in my energy state, and I know that that song or that beat or that movement that flowed through me needed to happen so that I could open the doors of higher consciousness. I could shift my vibration to elevate my connection to my spiritual team. So that is the number one rule, is just let your ego, let your humanness take a back seat and become the spiritual channel that you are, that already exists within you, because there are so many realms and messages and sacred secrets that are ready to flow through you. All you need to do is trust that you are a channel, become one with yourself, your highest self, and your spiritual team, and then let ego take a back seat so they can all flow through you.